regular city council meeting to order. Invocation by Pastor James Jones, Taylorville Christian Church.
Now we come before you tonight, and this is a bit of a strange time in our country, and we have lots of challenges and things to divide us. And so tonight we pray that you'll show what unites us living in this great land and sharing in representative government. And God, we ask that you would provide for us wisdom and your guidance in all that we do. We ask you to bless this community. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Megan Bryant. Here. Larry Bud. Here. Sean Bertle.
Here.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Here.
Kathy Driscoll. Here. Leland Zadi.
Here.
Jim Olive.
Here.
Crystal Petty.
Here.
All aldermen are present. Oath of office, firefighter Marshall Call, if you'd step forward. With your family.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter according to the best of your ability?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to make special recognition of firefighter Rich Holmes, who's being deployed to the Middle East. He'll start his deployment in a week or so and go till next March. So let's give Rich Holmes a round of applause. Thank you for your service, and I got cookies for everyone in the conference room, so enjoy.
Be safe. Appreciate it. Will do. Stay safe.
Omnibus vote designation. Motion by Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie
Yes.
Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leland Zadi.
Yes.
Jim
Yes.
Olive. Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Motion carries 8-0. Minutes of the regular meeting held June 1st, 2020. Minutes of the Personnel Committee meeting held June 8th, 2020. Minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held June 8th, 2020. Motion to approve the minutes.
No moved.
By Alderman Bryant, Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Driscoll. Roll call.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leland Zadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive. Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. An ordinance authorizing the city of Taylorville to enter into certain annexation agreements pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/11-15.1-1 at C, the State Bar Edition. Motion to approve.
No moved.
Motion by Alderman Dorchenez.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leland Zadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Mayor Barry.
Yes. Motion carries 9-0. An ordinance amending the city code section 3-2-6 regarding hotel motel transit occupancy rental units and related matters.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bryant. Questions or comments?
I got a comment. Mr. Hauser called me earlier today on this issue. I didn't know if you had something you wanted to ask, or something you disagreed with or agreed with.
Well, thank you for the recognition, Alderman Burwood. What do you intend to do?
We're trying to get the hotel motel tax out of what these Airbnbs and things like that are around our city that we have not been able to get the
I think
tax
it's very
rate.
nice because the legitimate people who are in the lodging business are following all the rules, paying
Right.
taxes, registering with the state, and undergoing inspections by the county and various other organizations to which they belong. And there's nothing like leveling the playing field.
Correct.
And it sounds like that's what you're trying to do.
That's what we are trying to do.
I hope so.
Okay.
Thank you. I do have one question. How do you intend to enforce it?
Well, we hired this company out of Chicago that is going to try to enforce it and try to name the ones that they're aware of or through some type of online things and stuff. And they get to keep portion of that and we get to keep the rest. So
3 years.
For 3 years, and then from then on, we're gonna keep the rest.
Sounds like you could probably get that from some of your own staff for much less money, but at any rate, it's a matter of looking online. I've been doing it for years, seeing that there are a variety of people who are in the business.
We looked into that, and to be honest with you, I don't think any of us knew exactly where to look for it in this company if they find it for us. We've been trying to find lost revenues that we have not been able to capture, and I think this is a way, and we have a disagreement with a company out of Chicago called Azavar.
I wish you success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll? Yes. Lee Landzadi?
Yes.
Jim
Yes.
Olive? Crystal Teddy? Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Burdell?
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez?
Mayor Barry votes yes.
Mayor votes on that.
Motion carries 9-0. An ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property owned by the city of Taylorville. 1989 fire engine, firefighting and rescue equipment, Jeep Cherokee, and John boat with motor and trailer. Motion of Alderman Driscoll.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bryant. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Lee Landzadi?
Yes.
Jim
Yes.
Olive? Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Burdell?
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez? Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Mayor Barry?
Yes, motion carries 9-0. Motion to approve the Class O liquor license for the Quick Cash Pawn and Jewelry Incorporated.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Dorchenez. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Burdell?
No.
Ernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
No.
Lee Landzadi?
No.
Motion carries 5-3. Discussion or motions relating to the sewer and restroom repair in the municipal building. Let's get a motion first to approve the work done, then we'll discuss which bid we're going to accept.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Olive. Questions or comments? Alderman Skoltedi?
Just to let everybody know where we are, this cannot be repaired by any conventional means, what you normally would through snaking the line and stuff. I had some people here last Friday. We spent 4 or 5 hours trying to route the sewer out. We actually we had to tie up a police officer because one of the cleanouts for that sewer was in the evidence room. They have to be sitting there watching us the whole time. But we were able to get the regular eel with the cutting head all the way through the sewer pipe down into the pit. And you would think that would take care of it, but that line was still holding water. We continued to try for another 1.5 to 2 hours to clear that line out, and to no avail. You can't even, the intent was that morning was to clean it out, get it running, and put another camera through it. And could not get it cleaned out enough to even remotely get a camera down. So this will not fix itself. There's no way to snake it out because it's a regular snake and a water jet machine that we tried to use to blow the rest of it out. And the whole thing we did was make a mess in the bathroom and the evidence room. So I think we've got no choice but to accept one of these proposals to get these repairs cleaned out, because anything further is going to cost us more and more money. So it's whether you pick up the blaze or the Rico's plumbing, you're just going to be adding hundreds of dollars on top of that over and over again. They were intended on working on it further, and I pulled the plug on them because I didn't want to just keep paying, prevailing wage at an hourly rate to get it maybe cleared out and then get it plugged back up after just a couple days. So we're going to have to do something.
Do we have a bill from what they did Friday?
No, they estimated that it's probably going to be $600 to $700.
And that's work that we previously had done by Ricky, is that
Yes.
true? Okay. So, well, if you look over the bids, and I'm no expert on plumbing, but I will say that it does not look like that they're bidding apples to apples. I know these aren't really bids, they're proposals, but we never did do the specs. It looks like Ricky's is more inclusive with the curtain and the relaying the floor tile. I talked with Mr. Ricky today, and he said that approximately was $1,000 to relay the floor tile. I know Alderman Olive has suggested that we lay tile on the whole area, and he's trying to get proposals or bids on that. Couple other questions I've had. D scale, I don't know exactly what that means in the install, number 2 on the Blake's bid.
That is actually a machine that actually runs with sort of like chains, and what that does is that just cleans that line out, because a lot of those older lines and older buildings have lime deposits, calcium buildup on the lines that actually hold the debris that causes that to build up there, and that descaling, that machine actually descales all that and keeps you from having to replace more pipe if necessary.
And I don't know if you can descale that particular pipe underneath there. Is that a question, Mr. Olive, you know anything about that? The copper pipe or something, I don't know.
Well, it's a cast iron pipe.
Cast
So
iron
cast
pipe.
iron, well, it's got barnacles and rust and ovules on the outside. So in my mind, if you grind them off, some of them could possibly be all the way through the pipe. Because I just had mine taken out at home because that's where the inside was, and it was just about ready to start leaking all the way through. But in talking to Mr. Ricky, now, of course, now he was able to camera, and he's gonna put in about 15 foot of pipe. I know on the other bid, they said in the hallway, so he's going plumb into the boiler room. And the curtain wall he's gonna put up, and I think that's a must, and then it's gonna have exhaust fans to get all the dust back out of the building. It's not when they're cutting that floor, it'll be complete fog down there. So I think there is, and I looked at 2 bids, I don't think we're quite apples to apples. We
Well,
might be
you're never gonna
apples.
get quite apples to apples.
Excuse me.
You're never gonna get apples to apples unless you have one guy bid and then take that bid and give it to somebody else. I mean, you're not gonna, all you're doing is going to a contractor and saying, bid me the estimate of repairs. And because I can't take Ricky's bid and give it to these guys and say.
Oh, no, I'm not
Bid
suggesting
this,
that.
because that would be unfair.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that at all. I'm just saying that, like the curtain wall and the dust issue and things like that they didn't address them issues.
I was also told by another plumber that wasn't involved in this bidding that you could not descale cast iron. That was his opinion. So, and again, I know absolutely nothing about plumbing, but I did do some research on this, so, so I guess it'd be the thing, we need to make a motion on which
I have a
bid to
question.
accept. Question?
Between these two, I don't see anything mentioning the reinstallation of the tile floor on the second one. It's mentioned on the first one, so is that?
Right, Mr. Ricky said his bid would include about $1,000 to redo
That's an
the tile
additional-
floor that he tore up, so I guess his bid, if he didn't do that,
Would be
because we're not gonna do that, would be
Okay,
$19,380.
so it gets a little bit closer.
Right.
$1,540.
Who worked on it? Was it Ricky doing this
No,
just
Blake.
recently? Oh, Blake did it just recently? Okay.
So,
It would've been a better idea to actually get this done, multiple bids done, so multiple people could see it when the line could actually be, cameraed and you could see what repairs were needing to be made, but the gap in time between the 2 bids, I mean, one was able to get a more detailed look at it than the other one. But, I mean, in the end, and don't get me wrong, I don't care who does it. This is the first time I met this guy last Friday.
that's my next question, has anyone had Blake's Plumbing do any of their work
that's the reason why he's going farther rather than try to descale and just remove it. 'Cause in my mind, if you descale something, them scales are eventually gonna come back, so it's gonna be, it'll be another repair down the road.
Versus replacing the pipe completely.
Yeah.
This does, and I know the difference, you know, I'm not, like, I don't care either way what you guys want to choose. I do know that Blaze is intended on, putting a clean out right in the middle of that floor, because where it sits, you know, having to clean out in the evidence room, going over to the pit, it does make it difficult to actually clean both ways, so, like I said, you guys choose what you want to do. It will make it easier in the future, and I'm sure maybe it's something, because Ricky will have it tore up, maybe it's something that he can add in without any extra cost, but I do believe we can get it floor cleaner out the middle.
I've been a very big proponent of going with Taylorville people if the bids are similar, so I ask for a motion to accept Ricky Plumbing's proposal.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second. Alderman Bud, questions or comments?
Could we ask him to, how much it would cost it? It can't be that much, just up front. Take his bid, I don't have a problem with that. I think we ought to do it right. If he needs to put a clean out there, just like Blaze was gonna do, right? And be able to go both ways. I think we ought to have him do that, whatever the added cost is.
All right. So, motion on the floor in a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I did that. I think Larry seconded it.
Yeah.
Larry did recommend paying for this out of the Ward Fund, if you could add that to your, anyone want to add that to your motion?
I suggest we pay it out of the BDD fund myself, to take up the discussion also. So let's just get the bid, and we can discuss where we're gonna pay for it later. So, all those, or roll call on accepting the Ricky Plumbing bid of, I guess it's $19,380 now, without the relaying the floor tile.
Driscoll Teddy,
Nope.
Samantha Bryant,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Sean Bertle,
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez,
No?
Kathy Driscoll. Yes. Lee Landzadi,
No.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-3.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
You know, it puts us in an awkward position when there's opposing views on something this simple. It's better, I mean, now I feel bad the way I voted, for no other reason than Chris is the committee chair for, you know, public facilities. Normally you would have a recommendation by somebody or committee. And we've kind of got out of that routine, and it puts all of us at an awkward position when you have to vote on something that you don't have any background on. You don't really know what they're gonna do. We don't really have exactly what we want them to do on the piece of paper. So I suggest in the future that we kind of get on the same page and do it at a committee level so everybody knows what we're gonna do.
I agree, but this was one of those things that we have to get done in a hurry, so if we would have waited for the public facilities meeting, it would have been 3 weeks from now, so. I think
Or we could have called one.
Yeah.
Just another point, I talked to Julie today, and this could possibly be covered under our city insurance. We have $2,500 deductible. I just asked for that today, so it could be something that we can pay for out of our insurance.
Okay.
Another avenue to pay it.
I'll meet with Mr. McNeely tomorrow, so I will chat to her back up.
That's a cheaper ad.
Right. Motion to appoint Attorney Beth Brotherton to prosecute such city ordinance violations as have been routinely and customarily handled in the past during the court's designated monthly court date for municipal ordinance violations. Motion by Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call?
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Motion to move the Finance and Ordinance Committee meeting to Wednesday, June 17, 2020. Motion by Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Bud. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Motion to move the Personnel and Emergency Services Committee meetings to Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. Motion by Alderman Driscoll, second by Alderman Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. City Attorney update, Rocky?
Yes, a couple of things, folks. The first thing I saw in the minutes that you are aware now that the new fire engine's gonna be delivered next week, and that the Taylorville Fire Protection District also facilitated the purchase of a new squad car for the fire department. So at the next meeting, they're gonna meet on the 24th to approve our customary lease to the city for $1. And then at your July meeting, you'll need to we'll have an ordinance ready for you to execute the lease so that you then will lease the new fire truck and the new fire squad car for $1 a year. Any questions about that? Okay, the other thing is that the mayor and I are working on some language. So at the next meeting, you'll either have a motion or ordinance to consider concerning the appointment of a special policeman or an auxiliary policeman. The purpose of what we're trying to do here is to facilitate Andy Goodall's ability to be able to serve summons and other process for ordinance violations that he generates, like junk cars and junk property, trash on property. And this will freeze up some time to the normal police staff. So look for that next meeting. So that's all I have.
Mayor update. As we move into summer, the lake is now open and Lake Superintendent Bart Riles is trying to catch up on the mowing and road maintenance. The cabins are getting great reviews. The cemetery and airport are starting to look good, and our street repairs are coming along. The BDD stimulus applications are really coming along, getting quite a few of them. Special thank you to my secretary Lisa for helping administer these. We will discuss them all at the Finance Committee on Wednesday and then go to the BDD Committee for a final look and hopefully approve these at the City Council meeting on July 6th. Please try to get out all applications in by next week, June 24th. We still face dwindling revenues and we will remain with the hiring freeze as well as all overtime hours must be pre-approved by the mayor. Special thank you to Chief Wheeler and the many law enforcement agencies who came to our aid on the Black Lives Matter demonstration. It was peaceful and very well organized. I again ask all aldermen for ways to increase revenues and decrease expenditures. Thank you very much. Committee reports. Discussion and or motion to approve, adopt and or deny and or table and or amend and or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. Personnel. Alderman Lozati.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to recommend to the City Council to increase the salaries of the police chief to 110% at 2,184 hours per year, and the deputy chief to 105 at 2,184 hours per year. I'd like to make that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Alderman Lozati. Second by Alderman Skoltedi. Questions or comments?
I have a question.
Question?
Just asking, should something be in this motion stating based on, is it sergeant pay or lieutenant
Sergeant
pay?
pay, that's in the contract.
Okay.
Roll call.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy. Susan Bryant.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Motion to recommend to the City Council to increase Water Superintendent Dave Spiegel's salary at $15,000 per year for 2 years with a cap of $30,000, and the non-bargaining ordinance to be rewritten to reflect this, and upon the Superintendent Spiegel's departure, that the Water Superintendent's salary revert back to the current salary. I'd like to make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Lozati, second by Alderman Bertle. Roll call.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes?
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Emergency services, no motions came out of this committee meeting, so motion to approve and or ratify payment of bills. Motion by Alderman Bud and second by Alderman Dorsones. Comment, Alderman Bud.
Okay, bills total $252,014.43. But I do have a question on a bill. If anybody looked at the bills, we have a bill in tonight with Green and Bradford, and they're charging $4,650.05 for observation of the sewer work out in the Valentine project in Ernie's Warren.
Observation?
Yes, yes. What the bill says.
Like watching observation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I talked to Jim and asked if that's what part of their contract read that. He said he talked to Joe Green. Joe Green said no, that was not included. So I don't know who authorized this, but anyway, there's a bill in tonight for $4,650.05 for them. My gut feeling was to pull this bill and find out more about this bill before it's paid, but I'm up for just asking for an opinion on this. Is it okay to ask for that, Rocky?
Yes. I was on mute.
Why wouldn't we find that out before? That's a lot of money for observation.
Most of the time, the engineer that bids the project observes what's going on, but that's included in the original specs and everything, so this fell through.
Yeah, I mean, can I speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that have come up here, the few things of, we don't know who authorized it, now we've got to pay for it and nobody wants to pay us back, that needs to end. So if we have a $4,000 bill, we should be seeing the bill and who approved the bill
No, I agree.
before we pay anything, or where they notified us that we would be getting this bill. Something, you can't just be like, oh, okay, I need $4,000 for watching me work.
What did the bill say? Larry, we got a bill.
Yeah, we got it. There's, I don't know,
It was basically 38 hours of $120 an hour.
$120 an hour.
For him, for
I don't
their
remember the gentleman's
engineer
name.
observing the company that did the work.
Yeah.
And that,
That's,
yes, sir.
if I may, and it's correct, he is not an engineer.
Okay.
But in the conversation with Joe Green on the very subject, and he said no, that there was nothing in the contract for that. And I told him, I said, Joe, you just build it in, don't you? No, he said there's nothing in there on that. And let it go at that. And lo and behold, somebody showed up down there. And I had no idea, because I talked to the mayor about it, and we decided that the firm was reputable enough that they could, anything that come up, they'd bring it to our attention. And, but this gentleman was down there. Who sent him? I don't know.
How many days?
Excuse me?
How many days was he there?
I don't know. I only talked to him on.
There was probably 8 days on there, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because I was called down there probably the last day they were there. What day was the last day they were there, Ernie? Last Thursday, Friday, somewhere along there. Because the catch basin, the last piece to go in, wasn't going to work properly because there's a sanitary sewer that runs down the alley going, east to west? And it was right directly in line with where the new sewer line was going. So what they did, they ended up, he had to call in and they said, well, probably we couldn't tell the elevation. Well, we told the elevation, Mike held the stick down in the manhole and they found the elevation within a couple minutes. But we ended up, we just moved it back to eliminate the problem.
This bill is for Morton Street? That's what she
It
said,
says-
Valentine.
It says Valentine project.
Which includes the whole area out there. That's called the Valentine Edition, that whole area.
Oh, I
So it
didn't know that.
includes their whole, about basically their whole end of town.
Well, there was a guy there, and he was observing,
Yeah.
and he was helping with the project, I mean, because of the fact that, where they, I guess there was a number on the layout where the sewers went, there was gonna be interference of the sanitary sewer with that storm sewer. So they had to make some adjustments to that, so. He was there all that time, I talked to him, but I didn't know anything like about this.
I'm just bringing it up because it was in the bills. If any of you watch me, I'll go through these bills. And I caught several today, or I'll say I caught about 5 today that I went through, to check on. And this was one of them. If you wanna pay the bill, that's one thing, but if you don't, the bills would come to $247,364.43. That's what the total would be after you subtract that amount.
Just a quick comment, if I could, before we vote on this. You know, here we go again. Typically, you know, if it's included in the bid, if we're gonna have this project done, and that's gonna be part of the engineering process, it's already built into the bid. If it's not built into the bid, that bill got turned in by someone to someone, and I'm assuming Mike, I don't wanna pick on him, he's not here, I'm assuming Mike turned the bill in, right?
Yes, we'll sign that.
Okay, so his chairman probably should have known that Mike should have known it wasn't on the bid. Or Jim should have known.
I didn't know anything about this.
So it should come to your committee, say, hey, we're gonna have an extra bill here for this project. That's
None of
another
that
thing.
project came through my committee.
Yeah.
None.
That's, all that shit should, pardon the French, all that stuff should come to committee. And so and Mike should know whether or not it's included in what we're paying to have done. If he's not, he needs more information on the
Well,
project.
I think this one actually started before, Mike came on. Cause this started before the first year.
But I'm really not picking on Mike, but that doesn't alleviate the problem. I mean,
Well,
the problem is still that we needed to know yes or no before we turn the bill in, whether it was included or not. So he needed to make a phone call to the clerk or you or somebody to try to find that out before you say, okay, Marine Deputy Show should send it for that. Because it kind of looks, it puts a bad light on business.
It wasn't bid.
No, it's been associated, it's all Joe Green.
Well, does,
But I think one way or the other, whether it's in the contract or not extra, the guy needed to be there. So what I'm saying is, if they didn't put it in the contract, we should be paying. He was there observing and making sure it was done right. So, I mean, I thought that that's what they normally do on all those kind of projects. They'd have some engineer there, some civil engineer.
Normally they do, but they do have it in the project.
I just think if it's justified, fine, we can, you know, but if not, and I don't know, now that Mike has signed it, does that mean we have to pay
Let me just add this, Mike,
it? So do we have to pay it since he signed it? Like, is that
No, we do not.
acknowledging?
I
No, we do
wouldn't
not.
think so, we have to approve all bills, so Mike doesn't have that authority.
Mike called me and said he had a bill for Joe Green. I did not know what it was all about, he said for that, and I said, because he said it was Ward 3. I said that it'll come out of Ward 3 monies because that's part of that project out there. But I thought it was authorized, and that's when I talked to Jim about, was this part of it. Today, going through the bills is when I really got to see what it was. You know, and normally on a project, we do have an engineer there to make sure the projects are being put in correctly. Whether it be any of our extensive projects, the 30-inch, the Phase 5, all of that out there, the $10 million that we spent. All of that, we've had somebody on site. The only thing I brought it up was, apparently nobody knew that he was authorized to do this. That's the only reason I brought this up.
Well, Alderman Dorchenez, who's the senior alderman in Ward 3, thinks it's a legitimate expense, and I think he okays to pay it. And it's up to the junior alderman Bryant to make her decision. She's also alderman in that ward, so I suggest we maybe pull the bill until we get more information possibly, and they can come to an agreement amongst them and go.
Yeah, like I said, if it's a legitimate, that we just, that's part, you know, I
would
just
think
don't,
that
I don't.
that's a boilerplate thing that is done every time you do something. You have to have somebody there watching.
But we
to
didn't
make-
know about it. It's like a surprise bill, like, oh, you thought it was only gonna be 20 grand, surprise, it's 25. You know what I'm saying? It's like a surprise.
Yeah, but if it was 25, we'd have approved it anyway.
Well, I understand that. I just.
Well, that's my point.
I
is
know,
that
I
it
know
would have
that's your
been-
point.
You would think that that would have been embedded in the bid.
Yes.
Had it not been, it doesn't make any difference as far as I'm concerned, because that money, it would have been in the bid in the first place, or you knew that somebody, whether you expected the bill or not, you should have known that that engineer would be there observing. Somebody's supposed to be there observing to make sure, and they, in fact, found out that they may have to make some decisions when they were doing the project.
I get that, but at some point, I mean, if, hey, by the way, it's not in your bid for the observance guy. So just so you know, you're gonna expect another bill for anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000. I just wanna give you a heads up. Perfect, thank you, appreciate it. But just, oh, by the way, here's another 43 you owe us. Even if it's legit, that's just bad business to me.
Yeah, but I'm saying is that when we have the street and sewer committee meetings and we go through this stuff, nobody ever would bring up something that detailed and say it's in the bid or not.
I understand.
So, you know, why would anybody know whether it was in there or not, as far as us approving that? We didn't know we're approving it, whether, you know what I'm saying, that the engineer was being paid in the contract or he'd been paid extra.
Right, which is their job to then tell us.
If I may, Alderman
I don't care.
Fortunato,
If you wanna pay
you
it.
were saying that it's standard to have an engineer there. Alderman Olive said this man was not an engineer.
Some of them are junior engineers.
A lot of times they're not engineers.
So that's why I wanted to say $100 an hour.
But he told me he was
Not an engineer.
maybe he was the engineer on site. He told me he was the engineer.
He told you he was.
I think
And he explained to me about
represents the engineering firm, because he said the other day, no, he wasn't, but that's kind of really irrelevant. I was surprised because Joe Green told me there wouldn't be anybody on this.
Well,
Like you said, it's
Joe
always-
Green's truck was there with the name on it, that's why.
When I talked to Joe Green before just as they was getting started, and I asked that question to him, and he said, no, he hadn't put anything in there this time. But it was always a standard practice, so I was surprised at that.
Alderman Bryan says she'll defer to Senior Alderman Dorchenez, so.
Mr.
Okay,
Spiegel
Dave?
has something.
I was just gonna say, it's not always included. A lot of times it depends on the size of the job, depends on, several things here sound to me like it didn't go wrong. The fact that the project didn't go through street and sewer committee, that's wrong. The fact that Mike's knew he wouldn't know to ask or not ask, and this was probably already written up before he took over, so you can't really, you know, the fact that he's new and inexperienced along with the fact that it was done before. So the gentleman on site is usually not an engineer, they're a construction observer. They have a lot of the same qualifications as engineers, but they don't have DE after their last name or a lot of. So a lot of the construction observers are very competent to do that. I don't know this young man, I've never seen him. This was one of the issues we had with Green and Bradford was A, lack of communication, and B, lack of any notifications at any time for numerous things. So the fact that we're no longer continuing anything, we can probably not expect these kind of situations, but you're exactly right. So if it's a small project, a smaller repair, maybe we're gonna hire Tullis to come in and do some stuff. We probably aren't gonna have a local construction observer. A, he's a local guy, we know him, we know his work. It's a smaller project, so it does vary. On projects blocks long, then usually you do, A, you get record drawings, and B, you ensure everything's done right. But you're right, there's a lot of stuff wrong here. The fact that it didn't go through the committee, and the fact that, you know, everybody's new. So I wouldn't expect too much in the future, because my experience with Ben Associates, we don't have this kind of an issue. But it does vary a little bit with projects, so.
We'll include the bill in this month's bills.
Okay.
Marie?
Couple more things. If you go to Bidnet Associates, they, for the DCEO grant for East Main Cross that we asked them to put in for, that the governor put out, there's a charge of $5,000. The mayor's, I don't know if he got an answer yet, but we've got a call in to Steve Klein if we can pay that out of the BDD, since that's in the BDD district, and it is infrastructure. So just letting you know that we're gonna try to get that reimbursed through there. And then for the generator, that actually is Prairie State, that would be. So Okay. Electric, $3,217.97. Fuel, $7,085.69. Garbage, $2,938.27. Computer tech, $4,235.46. Big R Ace Urban, $1,184.36. Neil Tire, $4,739.74. Quill, $1,050.71. Meyer Austin Romano, $1,102.50. Benton and Associates, DCEO and the Dam Report, $6,838.55. MFT, Benton and Associates for East and West Main Cross, $25,275. BDD, the generator, pay request number 1, Prairie State, to $21,514.05. Police Department, Lexico for the maintenance agreement, $5,868. Pages Body Shop for repairs to unit number 8, $1,784.93. Ray O'Haron for vest, $1,251.75. Water Department, Walker Construction, $99,824.10. Vanavector Engineering for Regent Sills, $3,175.05. Midwest Meter for supplies, $22,906.41. USA Blue Book for lab supplies, $1,077.37. Chemicals, $10,377.64. Sewer Department, coal equipment for the Vector truck, $1,207.99. EJ equipment for the camera truck, $1,256.89. Reed and Bradford Valentine Project observation, $4,703.45. Lake, $1,139, and that's for Jenner Ag, and these total to $233,755.08.
Roll call.
What, can I ask a quick question about 2 different bills?
Yeah, sure.
We pay the dog pound $400 a month
Yes,
to house the dogs we find in town?
yes.
Okay. And the other thing, a cut above lawn care, what do they mow?
Several different areas in town. The area there at Webster and Bidwell, where it's actually the state, but the state never mows it, they do that. KGB Park out there by Life's Journey, they mow that. And then several other locations, I'm not sure the exact locations, but they mow the locations of that. That's been a contract now that for mowing for, I've been under 7 years and we contracted that out.
And they bid that every 2 years.
That is correct.
We bid it every year ago, so this is their second year.
Okay,
on that.
thank you.
I don't think that one's a bid one.
Okay, roll call.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy.
Yes.
Meg Ryan.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. First subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06. This portion of the city council is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. The Illinois Open Meeting Act 5 ILCS 120/1 mandates no action shall be taken on subject matters not listed on the agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the subject matter to a future council and/or committee meeting. If anyone wishes to address the council, please provide your name and address, limit your comments or presentation to 3 minutes, and avoid repetitious comments. Anyone like to address the council? Alderman Olive?
Just an FYI for down between Park and Poplar, 700 block in the alley. I had a sewer break last week, which has turned into one of Sean's words. Boondoggle. We're having a hard time with it. It's water and sand is the issue. It's almost like it's in a quicksand area that they can't get rid of it. You see the pipe, it's gone, it's covered back up again, and it's coming in from the bottom, so they're having to pack it with rock to try to get some kind of a base. The sides have fallen in. CTI is gonna put an above ground cable connection. They're probably gonna cut it in 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's gotta be spliced in. So it's not in a good location. It's not going well. Mike was going to do it, and they started, and we had to bring Tullis in to work on it. If you go down by it, just be careful where you walk, because the sides are caved in. I would observe it from a distance.
I talked to Brad Solis about 5:30 tonight. He said they're have it done tomorrow, if not the next day, so I think you're fine.
But
We should be fine.
it turned into, normally if they just dig a hole and put the box in, well, this, you could probably stack 3 or 4 boxes side by side.
Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
By Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Driscoll, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries for adjournment. Thank you.